Well, it's official. It's been 1 year. Has it really been a year here already? I was looking at some of my first videos from this place, and I have to say I honestly can't believe it's been a year already. 1 year of building, fixing, painting, repainting, and occasionally wondering why I didn't just pick a hobby like knitting. And apparently 1 year of having a full-time supervisor. So today, instead of starting something new, which I am absolutely not allowed to do, I thought we'd walk through the house and look at everything that's changed. Yes, a little house tour and garden tour, just to look at all the things I've actually managed to build. This was the first space I tackled. It wasn't in super bad shape, but let's be honest, it wasn't great either. You want to be able to take a nice, long, warm shower after long days of work, so it really made sense to start here. I changed the shower fixtures, added a glass shower wall, a new smaller sink and tap, and painted the ceiling. Nothing dramatic, but with very simple steps, I changed the overall vibe of this small bathroom. Do I wish it was bigger? Absolutely. Just off the bathroom is the kitchen. Ah yes, the kitchen. The bargain 1988 cabinets that somehow became one of my favorite rooms. This is where the biggest transformation of the house has happened. This whole kitchen is basically one long lesson in not throwing things away too quickly. These cabinets and I have something in common. We both arrived in the 80s, and somehow we're still holding up surprisingly well, although some might say the kitchen is looking better these days. No, seriously. I found the kitchen on Marketplace, made the old overhead cupboards into the tall wall on one side and used the other cabinets on the working side of the kitchen. I installed new appliances and splurged on a very nice Decton counter and backsplash from Cosentino. As the room is not the biggest, I'm keeping it very neutral, painted the walls and ceiling in 2 different whites to make it as bright as possible and to make the cabinets and counter stand out. And yes, I still make coffee first thing in the morning. Some things just never change. Maybe I should have started in here, but the state of this room was pretty good. I only added a ton of furniture and a lot of art on the walls. Oh, I actually did take down the old wood-burning stove. It had to be replaced in any case by Danish law, and I decided not to, just to remove it. The house is keeping rather warm during the cold months without it, and I didn't like the placement of it. So far, I'm very happy with my decision. Painting this room is definitely on my to-do list for next year. Through to the sunroom, right now my messy office in one side and winter storage for a few plants at the other. It's in desperate need for some love, a project for next year, which I will tell you more about next week. And if you were wondering, didn't he build a daybed for this room at some point? Yes, he did. But I never used it, so repurposed it somewhere else and moved my office to this end instead. I love watching the wildlife outside, the many different birds visiting every day, the occasional pheasants, peacocks, or deer wandering by. In many ways, this is the room that decided the entire color palette of the house, Mercer Street. A soft, warm white with just enough depth to feel cozy, but still bright enough for these Danish winter days where the sun rises at, well, lunchtime. At first, I didn't know if this house wanted to be bright and calm or dark and moody, but once this color went up, it sort of told me the direction. It felt right, neutral, like the walls just took a deep breath. And someone approved immediately, even though he would 100% prefer if I just painted everything the color of trees. I didn't build anything dramatic in here, no secret cupboards, no complicated hacks, just paint. A lot of paint. And honestly, that's been a big theme this year. Not reinventing everything, but improving what already exists. Keeping the soul of the house, just washing its face a little. All right, let's move upstairs before I get too emotional over a hallway. In the guest room, previously known as the place where random stuff came to die. This room had no identity at all, but with some paint, a wardrobe system, and what I would call a surprisingly mature amount of tidying, it's now a proper guest room. A few pillows, a lamp, and suddenly it feels like a tiny countryside retreat. And yes, I still haven't had any overnight guests, but the room is definitely ready. Just saying. And then there is the bedroom, the room I kept avoiding for months. The ceiling looked like a 70s sauna, and not in a relaxing way. One layer of white paint and the whole room opened up. And before you ask, yes, I kept the color cohesive. Mercer Street from Leo. Soft, warm, calming, and most importantly, it doesn't argue with the rest of the house. A few small touches and suddenly this room became the place I actually want to end the day in. And Alvar approves. And really, that's all that matters. Outside is definitely where I put in a lot more work in this everything I built in a year theme. When I moved in, the garden looked, well, let's call it romantically neglected, which is a nice way of saying Mother Nature was winning. I started by trying to convince the garden that I, not the blackberries, live here now. In its space, my pride, my joy, my very sweaty summer hobby. I picked it up from someone on Marketplace, rebuilt the entrance, fixed the structure, and basically turned it into a little retreat where tomatoes live better lives than I do. I put new roof on the carport and workshop. I built raised beds, a massive rainwater collector, a corner for composting, and a whole lot of garden work, removing all dead trees, created new flower beds and corners. I can't wait for it all to blossom again soon. So yes, outside is where I put in the most effort, and it's nowhere near finished. But it finally feels like a place that belongs to me, and a place where both me and Alvar can grow together. But honestly, what a year. This little place has changed more than I ever expected when I picked up the keys. And somehow, so have I. I mean, look at her. From a forgotten 1930s time capsule to, well, a slightly less forgotten 1930s time capsule. But with better surroundings and interior. And this guy, he supervised every single project. Quality control, moral support, and occasional chaos. And thank you for being here, for watching, cheering, commenting, laughing with me, well, and for pretending not to notice when I do something questionable. There's so much more to come. I'll tell you all my plans for 2026 next week, but for now, I think we've deserved a cup of coffee. See you next week, same place, fewer spiders, hopefully.